So there has been a lot of talk around Demna's latest Gucci collection, which is not his debut collection. Let's be very clear about that. Yes, it was the debut runway show, but it was not the debut, and we already have had two collections by him. The first was the La Familia collection, which was amazing. I did actually love that collection. I'm just like looking through it right now, and it's actually a very strong collection. And I think that was a wonderful debut, and I think it covered the house codes really well. It honored like a lot of creative directors of the past. I think it had a very strong sense of Demna present as well. Then we had the pre-fall 2026, which was a very clear homage to Tom Ford, which was who was of course one of the most iconic creative directors of Gucci, and who like really sort of revamped and pushed, like literally pushed a new extremely sexy life back into Gucci, and that is how Gucci was like revived. I think everyone knows the whole Tom Ford Gucci story. One of the best creative director and brand duos ever. And the third collection, which is Fall 2026, which I don't know, I thought it would be a bit more historical and referential, but it was very indie sleeves, Y2K, super skinny, sexy, which is not like really what I expected, but I feel it's okay. I don't like really hate it for that, but I do feel I'm a little disappointed by the mislead. I think it if this collection was sort of led in that, it was called Primavera, and it had the photo of the Venus painting as like sort of a teaser to the show. It's kind of misleading. But then I was sort of going through Demna's notes for Gucci, and before this sort of debut runway show, and the note sort of suggested that the collection, not the collection, but Gucci to him is more about a new person every time, a new personality every time, how he sees Gucci as a person and not as a brand. And one of the very important and sort of notable things that he mentioned is about how Gucci doesn't really revolve around any storyline, right? It's a brand, it's famous for being a brand, it's famous for being iconic, it's famous for being luxury, it's famous for being recognizable. Like Chanel had the whole story about how she freed women, Elsa Schiaparelli brought art into fashion like in a very literal way. Cristobal Balenciaga like really revamped and sort of created this whole new line of unbelievably stunning silhouettes. Christian Dior sort of brought femininity back. Every designer was very story led. They had a vision. Gucci was a brand just because of their products. It was a product centric brand, right? I mean, how we have phones today and how tech brands are all about products. Gucci is sort of like a tech brand in the fashion industry. I know that doesn't really make sense, but I wish, and that's how I see it. And oh my god, like he literally wrote that. I didn't even read it. Like Gucci was built thanks to the excellence of Italian craftsmanship and product, but also thanks to its inherent quality and dare to innovate and to push boundaries to create its own rules, and very importantly, thanks to its inevitable representation of Italian culture and mindset. It does not have couture rules. It's not based on a myth. It's a super brand that is as much about pragmatic product as it is about emotion. I think that's exactly what I was trying to say about how product centric the brand is. And I feel that Demna is really gonna tap into that sort of a Gucci personality. I mean, I think a Gucci personality can mean something different to everyone, right? For some, it might be a very sexy, slinky, chic person who we saw in this latest collection. For someone, it might be more in an Italian wool leather coat, maybe like a really vintage looking trench coat with like horseshoe appliques or hardware. So I feel that a Gucci person might just be new every time we see that collection. And I think that's an interesting concept. And I think that's gonna sell really well. But will it be, will we see Demna there? Is the main question. I when I first saw that collection, my instinct was that that's hot, but also it was a bit underwhelming. I mean, there's like really no lying about it. I think there were some very strong looks. I think there were a couple of very strong Demna looks, which was like the all printed midi gowns, just so Demna. And I read this amazing sort of headline, which is, "Are you even famous if you didn't walk the Gucci runway?" Which is just so amazing. I genuinely do not remember who wrote that or which Instagram page I saw it from, because I mean, it was just in my feed. I think that was a really good one. But one thing that I didn't like about this collection is skinny back. I mean, why are we celebrating being super skinny? I mean, I get the homage to the old era, and I get the homage to the chic, Tom Ford, sexy era. But do we really need to bring back that diet and skinny culture? And that's just something that like we really should not be celebrating and glorifying. But unfortunately, it is what it is. That's something I really did not like. And but I will say I was kind of okay with the very hyper masculine, muscly shirts because I felt that was very female gazy in a way, which I do appreciate. And I feel that was not as harmful. I just felt it was meant to be more sultry rather than I think it was meant to be explicit or vulgar, which I do kind of appreciate. But it was an alright collection. I think definitely overhyped. I feel that we could have done a lot more with this collection. I think this collection could have been a moment, but I do know one thing, that is this collection is going to sell. It had some amazingly sellable pieces. I mean, this collection is going to fly off the racks. It was very commercial. I mean, let's not even kid about that. It was a very commercial collection, and of course, I know clothes are meant to sell. I mean, I think even I sort of hate it when people describe collections like when they say that this collection is so commercial. I think that's such a hypocritical statement, which I just made. I know, but it is a fact. I mean, it's his major runway debut, and he needs to prove to Gucci that he can sell. So I think it's only fair that he might sort of take it a bit more safer. Oh my god, I just read the most amazing comments I posted about this collection on my magazine page, and my headline was Demna's first Gucci show was pure heat and sex, which it was. And there's this amazing comment, which is Lauren Sanchez Bezos score, which is so true. I mean, I totally see that. I mean, I didn't even think of that, but that was amazing. And I think a lot of people are really hating on it. Like one person says, "Wow, we got so basic so quickly," which is I think fair. I mean, like I said, it's a very commercial collection, but someone just commented downgrade. I mean, I get it. I do get it. I do get the hate, but I feel since it's Demna, I think we might have some interesting work coming. I do trust him to put out something fun, and I feel that I have hopes. I think I can give him a longer grace period before writing it off, and I don't think it was a bad collection at all. It was just all right, and I think the fact that it was all right is a little jarring because I think we do expect his collections to be great. So even when the collection is good, it's sort of disappointing. But I think that's the cost of being good at your job. But I feel that it was an alright collection. I'm not gonna get into the details of the references and the inspiration and the clothes. I think we all know that, and we all just sort of saw that anyway. But yeah, that's pretty much what I was thinking about this collection. Let me know what you guys think. I know my thoughts were like very random and all over the place, but to be honest, that's pretty much how I feel about this collection as well. I'm a little conflicted about it. But yeah, let me know. Bye.